Patriots, Panthers this Sunday. 1-2 against 1-2. And this is a must-win game for both of these teams because the loser of this one probably won't make the playoffs. Now, before we break down this entire preview, spam your NEs in the chat. Who do you got? If you're a Patriots fan, type your NE. Or do Panthers fans exist? If so, and you're watching this video, type your CARs down in the comments section. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and the New England Patriots hosting the Carolina Panthers in what I want to call a must-win for both of these teams, because if either one falls to 1-3, the percent chance does not look good to make the playoffs. Only 34%. And the Patriots do not have a good record at home, so this is kind of a boost morale. Get back after that ugly loss against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's kind of just take a look at the offensive stats. And when you look at the yards per game, the pass per game, the passing yards, and the rushing yards, everything is like, okay, well, the Patriots are a much better team than the Carolina Panthers. The Pats, 11th in yards per game, and the Panthers drop all the way down to 24th. But look at the points per game. The Patriots only have 20, and the Panthers actually scoring more points than the Patriots, because obviously what we've seen the past couple weeks is the Patriots kind of shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, last week, you're on the goal line twice, and you come out with 0 points. So the Patriots, their offense is clicking, but they can't click enough in the red zone to score points. And how do you win football games? You score points. Now for the defense. The defense for the Panthers is not very good whatsoever. 334 yards. Their passing yards, they're really good in the passing game. They're allowing quarterbacks to only throw for 196.7 yards. Their points per game, they are holding less than 20 points. So the Patriots, they have a disadvantage at that. Now, for points per game for the Patriots, we know how good their defensive front is with Christian Barmore, with Milton Williams in the fronts, in the center at nose tackle and defensive tackle. And hopefully they can get Christian Gonzalez back. We'll find out later this week. And when the injury report comes out, if he is limited or maybe we can get a full practice. But hopefully I expect him to be playing as he's finally getting back into rhythm, having just more than 3 practices. And that's why I don't think he played on Sunday. We are going to be live noon Eastern. Patriots Panthers watch party, so you don't want to miss out. Right now we are at 30,175 subs, and we made it for 30,000 last week, which is a great milestone for this channel. So if you want daily videos, if you want lives twice a week, go ahead and hit that sub button right now. This is the injury report that I wanted to show you guys. There's a lot more people on the injury report. We know that Carlton Davis had an Achilles injury, but it was limited, and then he was taken off the injury report today, or taken off last week before the game. No injury designation for him, for Harold Landry, for any of those guys. These were the only 2 that were still kind of questionable going into the Steelers game, but we will find out once they practice later today if Christian Gonzalez is going to play. But for the Panthers, this is a major break for the Patriots. And we saw this from Joe Person, who covers the Panthers for The Athletic. And Jatavion Sanders has a high ankle sprain, and he is going to miss several weeks. Injured in last week's game against the Falcons after he caught a pass in the fourth quarter Sunday. And so far, through 2 games because he was hurt, but he was playing really well. 9 catches, 81 yards. He was one of Bryce Young's top targets. So that's someone that you don't have to worry about going into Sunday's game, and kind of you can calm down a little bit and only have to worry about, hey, Tedero McMillan, or even on the running game. But we also, it's kind of a question mark, is Xavier Legette going to play? Last Sunday, he was held out with a hamstring injury, and you know personally with watching the Patriots as they're dealing with Christian Gonzalez's hamstring injury, we don't know. It could be a 2-week recovery. It could be a 6-week, 2-month recovery, for crying out loud. Hopefully he doesn't play. He hasn't had the greatest of season that we saw. He was supposed to be one of their breakout wide receivers coming in last season, but I think the Patriots also just have the upper hand in this one when looking at both of these teams. If the Panthers offense is missing their tight end and they're missing one of their top wide receivers in Xavier Legette, the Patriots definitely can take advantage of that one. We're going to the coach. The upper hand, I'm giving it to the Pats. Mike Vrabel, he's been to the playoffs. He's been to an AFC championship game. He has that culture. And Dave Canales, well, he's on the hot seat, kind of, but not really. If you look at the odds for the next head coach to be fired, he is on that list. And guess what? Mike Vrabel isn't. Quarterback, I got to go with the Patriots. I really have never been a big believer in Bryce Young. And on the second half of the video, I will prove to you guys why Drake Maye has a much bigger advantage than Bryce Young. He's also shorter than I am, and I'm not even 6 foot. The offensive line, now the Patriots' offensive line has looked good in pass blocking. Run blocking, not so much. You saw with how little yardage they're getting per game. But the Panthers, the pass blocking, I mean, a lot of their guards, a lot of their centers, they're having a pass blocking grade, PFF grade of over 80. They have improved even better than the Patriots have from last year to this year. That was one of the emphasis for the Panthers. They wanted to protect Bryce Young because when he's blitzed, he's absolutely terrible. For the defense, if Christian Gonzalez plays, the Patriots have a top 5 defense in the league. They didn't get a sack on Aaron Rodgers last year, but they were getting a lot of pressure to him. And before last week's game, they were leading the league in sacks. Also, Milton Williams has a ton of pressures. Christian Barmore, you can't run against this team. And on the edges, Caleb Von Chason and Harold Landry. Harold Landry was leading the league in sacks, and he was making the Titans just hate themselves because, they cut him for absolutely nothing. And the atmosphere, I want to give it to the Patriots, but the Patriots have a home record of 3-15 since 2023. They have one of the worst home records. And before we saw that the Pats were never losing at home, ever. And now it's kind of a crutch. They're better on the road, but you got to get back to that original atmosphere, original excitement of Gillette Stadium. We know all the renovations. Now somebody rings the bell at the top of the lighthouse. This stadium is going to be rocking. The Patriots still believe in this team, and there's a reason why the line is 5.5, because they know that the Pats are a better team. They know they're a better team than the Panthers. You can also get the edge at home. Coming up, I got my keys to victory on what the Patriots are going to need to do to beat this Panthers team. They're a better team. This is a game that should be winnable. Last week was a game that should be winnable, but obviously there's a reason why you're 1-2. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. I make a lineup for pretty much every single day, whether it's baseball, football, racing. You know I'm a NASCAR guy, but I got my lineup for Sunday's game, and Prize Picks giving you a max discount for Jalen Hurts. We know he doesn't throw a lot of yardage, but I think he might get one. I think he's going to get one. Give me the more. And then Drake Maye, he's been going off. The more, 230.5 passing yards. And Hunter Henry has been his top target. He had 90 yards last week. Give me the more on that one for 38.5. More on that one. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, the first one, and I think we can all agree on this. Protect the damn ball. And that involves you might have to bench Ramondre Stevenson. Call up Terrell Jennings and just bench Ramondre. Set a tone. Set a statement, because you cannot replicate what was last week. You had 5 turnovers against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 4 of them were fumbles. And I'll give a little pass to Antonio Gibson, even though he also has a fumbling problem like Ramondre. But 5 turnovers and you only lose by 7 points? It's ridiculous. If you don't turn the ball over, if you score even one of those touchdowns on the 2-yard line, Ramondre holds on to the ball, or Drake Maye lobs it up to Kayshon Boutte in the back of the end zone, you win against the Steelers, you're 2-1. That's the biggest key to victory on Sunday. Do not commit turnovers. Protect the ball. Ramondre, I'm sorry, but you have to set the tone. You have to build that culture. If you mess up, you got to be benched. You have to be benched. Just for this one game, though. Second one, Blitz, Bryce, Young. I know you saw a couple weeks ago when I was talking about Tua where I said, don't blitz that much because you blitzed Geno Smith a lot in week 1 and it didn't work out so much. Well, you didn't blitz Tua and it worked out, but I think you blitz Bryce Young a ton. And because when you get Bryce Young under pressure, he folds like a cheap suit. He becomes a decent quarterback when he's kept clean, but when he's under pressure, he just turns into a JV-type quarterback. He is not good. And when you look at the stats, his completion percentage when kept clean, 67.5%, 451 yards, 2 touchdowns, like only 2.3% turnover-worthy plays. But when you get him under pressure, that completion percentage absolutely tanks to less than 50%. Only 152 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he's thrown a couple, but he also has thrown an interception. And that turnover-worthy plays jumps from less than 3% all the way up to 6%. So if you can get pressure on him, especially what I think this front 5 of the New England Patriots with K'Lavon Chaisson, you don't have to bring a lot of guys because you're going to get pressure. If you want to blitz Robert Spillane a little bit, go right ahead. But Harold Landry, Chaisson, Christian Barmore, and Milton Williams, and even Kyrus Tonga getting pressure. You were getting a lot of pressure to Aaron Rodgers. You were getting to the quarterback a decent amount, but you didn't get any sacks. And that's because Aaron Rodgers was kind of getting that ball off quickly. There was a lot of dump downs to Jaylen Warren. But if you keep that spy there, it also helps. But you need to get pressure on Bryce Young, and it will help you tremendously. It will completely change the game. Third key to victory. This is going to be, you got to keep Drake Maye clean. And Will Campbell, I'm looking at you because the first 2 weeks you have been really good. And then last week, it kind of was your welcome to the NFL moment. I wanted to look at we looked at Bryce Young's stats, kept clean and under pressure. So let's look at Drake Maye's. Well, Drake Maye has been awesome when kept clean. 79% completion percentage. He does not miss. 5 touchdowns, and the turnover-worthy plays are 2.2%. But when he gets under pressure, when they're getting to the quarterback, he doesn't go Bryce Young where it drops under 50%, but 52% completion percentage is not good. He's thrown an interception. He's not thrown a touchdown, and the turnover-worthy plays doubles from 2.2 to 4.4. Now, the pass blocking has been solid. I mean, Garrett Bradbury, we're calling it an insanity run. He is not allowed to pressure once this season. And we were having questions on, was he going to be the right center for this team? Now, Mike Owenu has also had a solid game. Morgan Moses, she kind of got lit up by T.J. Watt last week. He had a couple sacks, but Drake Maye's also got to get that ball off quicker. And Will Campbell, you have to be better against this defensive line. Don't really have any problems with Jared Wilson. He's a rookie. He's had a couple of rookie lapses, but overall, he's been a very, very, very good player. And the last one, play the rookies, please. And I'm going to be quick with it because we have seen Kyle Williams not on the field at all. He only had 1 catch for 8 yards. And I like Mac Hollins. I really do. I like Kayshon Boutte. But also when Stephon Diggs is still kind of working to get back from his ACL injury and only playing 50% of the time, you got to play the rookies. I said it earlier in the show. It's time to bench Ramondre Stevenson. You give Travion Henderson the keys to the team. Put him as your starting running back. Let's see what he can do. We saw Quinshon Judkins kind of take control with the Browns. We've seen Amarian Hampton kind of take control with the Chargers. It's time for the Patriots to let Travion Henderson free. Take the training wheels off and then let him go. And for Kyle Williams, you got to play him. You have to play him. He can take the top off. He's speed. He can run routes. And Pop Douglas, you have been kind of terrible. And when I mean terrible, Pop Douglas, you have not had a 10-yard game yet this season. So I think it's time. It's Chisholm time. Start him. Or not start him, just play him. He hasn't played yet this season. He's been a healthy scratch. Let's see what he can do. And you have nothing and nothing else to lose. Predict the score for me down in the comments section of what you think Patriots versus Panthers is going to be. I think the Patriots are going to win this one. I think they're going to go to 2-2 on the season, and everybody can just calm down because that game against the Steelers was ugly, and I don't think the Patriots are going to have a 5-turnover game again, because the last time they did that before last week's game was all the way back in 2008. My prediction, though, I got a 31-21 win over the Panthers. We will be live on Sunday at noon, so make sure you hit that sub button. If you want to keep talking Patriots, I'm in a bunch of Patriots group chats, so my DMs are open. You can hit me up on Twitter or hit me up on Instagram at @TheRealAlper. And as always, let's go Pats.